Back there. All right. I'm holding up a piece of paper, and you'll notice there's a little corner that's ripped out, and that corner was delivered. It has the top three are on it, and I want to say in advance here, my goodness, you had a difficult job. You did a really good job. So I'm going to turn over the floor here to Dean, who's going to represent Patagonia. In the announcements here, there'll be the top 10 teams. There are 7 honorable mentions that Dean will offer. In no particular order, those 7 honorable mentions. And then the number 3, the number 2, the number 1. So with that, Dean, would you kindly come up here and walk us through, please. Everyone, a nice, warm round of applause.
So, yeah, sure. First, thank you very much. It was quite a day, or quite a couple of days. And so, before we get going on with it, I just, to the whole entire Berkeley Haas team and Robert, thank you for making this happen. It was extraordinary in every way. So, just a huge pause and thank you so much. And thank you for amazing food. So I'm a personally food person myself, and it was just extraordinary. I even ate dessert every time it was served. And what you hope happens from these is certainly the conversations you have on stage are important, but likely the conversations that you have at the tables and outside are even more important. I can tell you, thank you for the conversations I had at the table. They were inspiring. I learned new things, and I appreciate it. And and some of those, I know the conversations will continue. So thank you and for setting that up, and thank you for just sharing a bit of your thoughts and ideas with all of us during this time. It's certainly appreciated and used. And for the abstract case talks themselves, we were blown away. Like, it was difficult, and it was difficult to even have the conversation about who we're going to pick, because we just wanted to talk about the ideas. Oh, and then there was this, and then there was this idea, and then keeping us focused on picking the actually rank and not just talking about the really great ways that we were inspired and in awe. So you guys are badass, and we don't use that term loosely at Patagonia. We reserve that for a special few. And what we loved, and we're blown away by how many ideas that are shelf ready for us, like ideas we can take and start using pretty quickly. And for those of you who don't know Yvon Chouinard, by nature he's a cynic, and often he'll say, I just don't know how this whole thing is going to turn out. And what I know and what we know is by listening to your conversations and the way you're looking at the world and challenging the world, challenging us, is it gives us hope. It gives us hope because we take our mission seriously. We don't see this as like, oh yeah, we got to do this, and we got to recycle more because we need a mission. We take as solutions to the environmental crisis seriously. We use the word crisis for a very specific reason. So for that, I want to thank you because I've got goosebumps for all the hope that you guys give us, and we're so thankful for that, and we need it, and you need to keep at it. And all of you, thank you for hope, and I'll share that with So now to the difficult part is talking to you, or the most exciting part, so sharing some of the ideas and things. So for the group for honorable mention, the first group we want to talk about is Texas A&M, and your... And for your Aggies is the T-SIP. I'm saying good things about A&M. Sometimes Ashley, Phil, and I have always sort of punched each other in the arm on that. But we really love the incentives for young farmers. And we thought that is something that needs to happen and should happen. and we are super stoked about it. And finally, we had someone explain blockchain to us in a way that we can understand. So we think it's fully something we should be looking at and can and should be doing. So we'll appreciate it. Next was Penn, and Penn, come see us. We want to talk about those corporate power purchasing agreements. We think we have a place for those, and very interesting and certainly very powerful for us. We thought that was a really powerful idea for making change. Next one is NYU. We love the photos, by the way, and we were inspired by those. So as a company that's inspired by visual art and moments, it was really awesome. But we really loved the conversation on social empowerment, and even bringing it up is always difficult because it is a challenge. It's a challenge to measure. Sometimes it's a challenge to talk about it. And as a company, we lean into more social justice. It's a conversation we need to have, and it's a conversation we need to be challenged on. So we appreciated that conversation on social empowerment and could have a potentially extraordinary impact on the people that we do business with all in the world. Next is Michigan. So as you know, as a product company, we are all about product design. We really appreciated the product-centric approach, and we're all ready to wear our net neutral collection of Patagonia. So and have that on our shirt. So we really appreciated starting with what is at the center of Patagonia is product. The next group is UNC. We want to meet the soil carbon cowboys. But actually what we really appreciated was just this really holistic view of how to approach the challenge. That it is not necessarily one single issue that you can point at, but how do you start and look back and step back and look at approaching the challenge from a truly holistic perspective, which is actually how we're going to get to the answer. The next one is University of Washington. As you know, my title is VP of HR and Shared Services. What the part of shared services, part of it is the CFO reports to me, and the other part is legal. So general counsel reports to me. So let's talk about those patents. So, which was a really great thing because you brought something to our attention that we weren't aware of. And you know we love a good fight. So anyhow, after this I'll be meeting with our general counsel, and we're in for a fight on that. And so we're going to dig into it. So look for a conversation with us, and maybe some rewards along the way. Beer, free jackets, something. Kick some ass on that. That's something very cool. The next group was MIT. And as a humble organization, we like to start with our impact is 0.0000001. What we really loved was the detail on the transfer of microcarbon accounting specifically to product. And we think there's a really true and good application in that process. So let's talk some more on it. And we were inspired by the product card. And so while Timberland may have done it and failed, we thought it was so well done and rethought that it's an idea worth resurfacing, and we should think about that again. So the carbon fat card we thought was brilliantly done, and actually it looked like something we produced. Really, did we do that? That looks like a Patagonia thing. So anyhow, so for all honorable mention, thank you so much. We were inspired. We have several ideas that we want to talk to you about and take home with us. So for the next group, for the second runner up,
let's just say number 3.
Okay, what? Yeah. All right. For third place. Is Gail. up here, Yale.
Nice firm grip. Pictures here with the.
Here we go.
Yale, this is what we want to let you know. You're one of the reasons we could have taken hours to have to deliberate on this. We, first of all, love the overall context of the presentation. We love the style in which it was presented. By looking at this as an overall ecosystem was super awesome. But one of the things that we were fascinated about, and we really want to talk with you more about it, and I'll talk to you more in just a moment, but the way you're looking at the carbon tax is brilliant. It is thoughtful, it's detailed, it's something that we can and should do. It's a conversation we've been having at the company for some time and haven't been able to figure it out. And we thought that your approach could really stimulate some really great ideas for us on how to actually figure it out in a unique and Patagonia way. So we were inspired, and it was on a problem that we have not been able to tackle, and you gave us hope that this is a problem that we can get to and we can make happen at the company. So thank you so much, and the conversation will continue with you guys. Thank you. In second place is Bard.
After the photos.
All of us, or just the Bard guys?
Certainly the Bard people to hear.
Here we go. Wonderful. Okay, here we are. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, I hate to break up the love fest on stage, but guys, it was
Hey, stay up, please. Please.
I just want to talk to you for just a second. Let's hang out and get cozy for a minute. So we one of the things, there were several things and several really implementable ideas that we could do. But first, we love the leasing model. And particularly, not just talking about, hey, you should do a leasing model, but let's talk about it for children. And then that super cute picture of the kids in the green puffer. But yeah, we love it. We think that is something that's possible, and we've been thinking about something, but it's certainly inspiring to think about, okay, the division that could make the most difference is in children, which is absolutely true. So, and even pricing models on it was super detailed and things that we can do. The second thing is, as a product company, the challenges on design were actually brilliant. And so we love this idea of design for recycling. We do have a lot of conversations in the company design for repair, but we haven't thought about things in terms of design for recycling. And it was brilliant, and we love the whole modular approach, potentially to how we can have pieces. I can see like someday like a fully on modular, pieces of different colored things, and it being kind of a badge of honor to have like a patchwork modular Patagonia jacket that's been repaired a million times. So anyhow, it was really incredible. And the part that really blew us away is like, who the heck are you to tell us we should have a production cap? It's like the dean talked about yesterday, was really thinking about your values. And if we really want to do no harm, then we got to stop being extractive and making shit. And so, like, if we do that, then having even challenged ourselves, like what would that look like someday to have a production cap, really makes us think differently. The idea of strategy is the management of constrained resources. And so how do we be, if that resource is infinite, we can just continue production infinitely, then the challenge looks a lot different when you say we're gonna have a production cap. So we love the challenge, and we're actually excited about thinking about how we can take that on. So anyhow, thank you very much for kicking us in the pants on our values. And yeah, congratulations, it was really, really great. Thank you so much. And you guys have probably figured out where we're at. But before we do that, I want to let you know something, and this is the top two groups. We are come to Ventura, and we have a conversation at Patagonia with your ideas. But Yale, we were so inspired by your idea. We want you to come to Ventura also. We have no idea if we have approval to do that, but we're making the decision. Yeah, we're just like, what? Yeah, Yale's here. I don't know what. I still haven't talked. They got here in a minivan. But yeah, we'd like you to come. We have some specific things we want you to talk to the company about when you come also. So 1, 2, and 3 will all come to Ventura. And so we're super excited. You're surfing with Super I've done that. It's an experience. So, guys, in first place, we were truly inspired and blown away and absolutely have some ideas worth what we call off-the-shelf ready for us to make a difference, and that's UVA. So, guys, come on up. So UVA, what we thought and we kept talking about is how you implicitly changed the challenge that was in front of the case competition. Like you changed the nature of the question and really made us think about differently. So we're talking about carbon neutrality, or we're really talking about 1.5 degrees. And how do we get to 1.5 degrees, which keeps us all from cooking. Or drowning, however you look at it. So that kind of like, we all were like, wait a minute, that thinks about the problem in an entirely new and different way and completely reframes it. So we had a lot of conversation about it, and we really appreciated, again, kind of kicking us in the pants and thinking about it. We thought just in general, the whole presentation was incredibly thoughtful, and every time, we're like, okay, we need some more detail in this. Not really expecting to get the detail, and then you had like 6 slides on the detail of it, and thoughtful. So it wasn't just in a slide. You were really well prepared for it and ready for the answers, and in a way which gave us confidence that's something that we can do. The conversation on PHA and squid ring teeth, and really dialing down on the functionality of those products, that there are things that we could use that could make a difference in their quality, durability, as well as carbon neutrality, and the things that we're building every day. As a matter of fact, we learned something. So it was even on our own team, we're like, we didn't know that. And so anyhow, thanks for teaching us a little bit about materials, which was inspiring. And each time there was a situation, there was a very specific example, whether it was microgrids, and by the way, we've done the research, and here are 2 facilities you can use that, and here's the impact on these 2 specific facilities you could use microgrids on, to the strategic offsets and using land sinks, and even down to like, here's the specific organization that you should use, which is, we happen to be an organization we highly value also. We're like, where'd they pull that one out of? So I think clearly a lot of research that either was things we hadn't thought of, and points to partners that we know are already extraordinary and we should lean in on. Just validate one more time, we should do that. So anyhow, we were inspired, and we can't wait to have you guys on campus to talk about some really shelf-ready ideas and some challenges to help us get to 1.5. So thank you so much. Claudia saying, wow, I did not know that about materials. Anyhow, I just want to say thank you one more time. It was an incredible day. We'll be talking about it for some time, and we're really looking forward to having you guys in Ventura, do a little surfing, drink a little beer, and you guys get to know who Chipper Pro is, and we're stoked to have you down in Ventura. We'll see you soon.
Awesome.